right, so we got your bracket up there. We got the West over there. It looks like first with Gonzaga and Georgia State. I mean, Georgia State wasn't even the best team in that conference this year, so I don't see much of a problem for Gonzaga there.
Neither do I. I think it's a pretty it's one of the gimmies of the bracket this year, I would probably say.
Boise State and Memphis is wild because Memphis has had some crazy stuff this year. And Boise State is a very solid team, but Memphis State plays a different pace. Boise State plays a little bit, a little faster. But I don't know. Memphis has been up and down this year. I mean, I don't know. Memphis in that league is a strange league too. But the 8-9 games are always a toss up. Like I said, the 9 is 73 and 71 versus the 8 seeds over the years, which just goes to show you how even this is. I guess I would take Boise State in this game, but I wouldn't. Obviously, the trick of the bracket, if you want to win something, is to get these 8-9 games right. What do you got?
It's a toss up for me too. I think I'll probably lean Memphis at the end of the day, but I'm not really opposed to Boise State on this. I think Memphis has a lot of talent that can show up or not show up on any given day.
Sure.
Boise State more of a solid all around team. They won the Mountain West this year, which is a great conference this year.
Sure.
But yeah, I really it's a toss up. I'm good with Boise State there, but yeah, Memphis, wouldn't be shocked to see Memphis come out and even make a little bit of a run.
Sure. UConn, New Mexico State. New Mexico State is very good. They had a great year. I know their record is I think it's 27 and 25 and 5 or something of that nature, but UConn's pretty solid. They've been playing well. I'm going to go UConn in this game right here.
Yeah, I really like UConn as a sleeper this year. There's someone I have my eye on to surprise people, make a deep run this year. Dan Hurley's a great coach, and they're just super talented overall. So
this game's a killer. 13s have had some success with 4s over the years, we pointed out before. And Vermont is really freaking good, and they've won their last 3 games by 30 plus. I know you're not playing an America East team today, but Arkansas has been very good all year. The SEC has come back a little bit. Arkansas is back in the loop as being one of those big programs again. Great to see. But obviously, that's going to be a tough game. But I don't know if you want to go out on the limb. Vermont is a live dog. That's all I'll put it to you people out there who want to looking for an upset. I'd say Vermont is a live one here, whereas I don't think Georgia State obviously is. Vermont is definitely a live dog, but I guess I'll take Arkansas, but I would be careful with this one. I wouldn't put any money on this one.
Yeah, I like Vermont as an upset pick in this game. Very dangerous. They dominated the America East, which obviously isn't one of the power conferences, but certainly has some worthy opponents. They just play really good team basketball, and they got some studs. So Vermont, scary team. Arkansas finished the year pretty well though. So yeah, total toss-up game. But if I was Arkansas, it's probably not the 13 seed I wanted to play.
Now, who's Alabama play the winner of?
So Alabama is going to play the winner of Rutgers and Notre Dame. So for me personally, I would take Rutgers in this out bracket game.
I'll be rooting hard for
That's
Rutgers.
just me.
I think Rutgers' defense will make the difference in this game.
Yeah, I think they're kind of a grinded out team. Really could really give a lot of teams trouble because they really guard. They don't score particularly well, but they do guard. Then Bama Rutgers is a contrast of styles. Alabama really scores. Rutgers really guards. So it's really depends on what you think is going to win out in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think whose tempo you get too, because Rutgers has the 2 guys who can make a shot at the end of the game. So they're a dangerous team. They got veteran guards, and we talk about that all the time. Like last night in that ACC championship game, the 2 veteran guards, Virginia Tech score 40 points. The two freshmen for Duke score 16. That's the game right there. So I would definitely take Rutgers over Alabama because Alabama's really struggled down the stretch too. I mean, but that again, Alabama's definitely capable. So it's not it's set in stone here. Texas Tech, another good team here. First Montana State. Couldn't see Montana State back in the tournament, back from the days with Ferl Keach. Was they had twin brothers who got them to the NCAA tournament way back in the days. So way back. Go look that one up. It's a long time. But I'm going to go Texas Tech there. But that's, again, Texas Tech is a tough team. They finished well. Chris Beard left them, I guess, in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they got a lot of transfers this year. Super heavy on the portal, so they're pretty old as well. Chris Beard definitely left the program in good hands. They have a good coach now. Very dangerous team, Texas Tech for sure.
And if you're into coaching like I am, this is 3 or 4 of the best coaches in the country right here. You got Tom Izzo, Bob McKillop, who is just one of the best there is ever, and Coach K, obviously. And if this was a baseball game, I'd say Duke would be in trouble, but I don't think Cal State Fulton's going to have an answer. But, you never know. But Davidson, Michigan State, I think is one of the harder games to pick. Michigan State was a pretty streaky team this year. I know they had some good wins, but they also had some bad losses. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and take Davidson in this game. I mean, like I said, too close to call, but we are on here, so we got to put someone in the bracket. I'm gonna go with Coach McKillop, and I'm gonna take.
Yeah, I'm in agreement on that. I would take Davidson in that game. They went 26-5 in the A10, which not a Power 5 conference, but still a very good conference. Michigan State, I was never blown away by Michigan State at any point this year. I think they're a really solid team. I think Tom Izzo, Michigan State, they can always make a run. They're always a candidate, but I don't know. Yeah, I really like Davidson this year. And Duke, Cal State Fullerton, I think, like we said, it's March. You never know. Duke has lost in that game before, but I would like to think that Duke's sheer talent alone would carry them to the finish line in that one.
Yeah, they lost to Lehigh back at with the Portland, well, the old Portland Trailblazer guys now been traded obviously to the Pelicans, right? So
Yep, CJ McCollum.
McCollum.
Yep.
So Pete Theodoropoulos' school there, Lehigh. A little shout out to Pete there. He's got his hopefully Lehigh will get back there while he's there. It's fun to watch. I'll scroll down to Baylor there. That's an interesting bracket. I think this bracket's fun. Baylor's not healthy, so I know this is crazy to say, but Baylor's not healthy, and I mean I'll pick them, but Jesus Lord, I mean that's not healthy right now. I mean they're missing a couple of players. It's not a good situation to be not good to be not healthy now. Like you said, Norfolk State's had a hell of a year, and they've been there before, and they're not gonna back down from anybody. They're gonna play up tempo. They're gonna push the ball. That's gonna be a fun game to watch, and I'll stick with Baylor. But UNC Marquette always. I mean, Marquette was rolling and had a bad end to the season the last couple of games here, but Shaka Smart has them playing well. We have all the Carolina tool bag fans out there, but it's good to see the light blue was home golfing last night. But we'll give a shout out to Jay Cosgrove there rooting for his heels. But I don't know, that backcourt is very streaky. Love is very streaky. And Leaky Black is a good defender, but he's got to make a couple of shots too. Brady Manick is tough, and obviously Baycoat's tough, but just so streaky, Carolina. I mean, they could definitely get out of that little foursome there. Basically when you approach this as a coach, you don't look anywhere ahead of the first game, obviously, but you prepare for 3 other teams so you can survive the weekend. Once you survive the weekend, that's how you do it as a coach. But I tell you, UNC could get out of there, but so could Marquette. So could Baylor. I really think this is a really interesting foursome up here. I know Baylor got the 1, but as soon as they put Baylor up there, I said to myself, they're going to stick Carolina up there. Now, Baylor's pace, though, holy mackerel. It's just crazy. I don't know if Carolina can run up and down with them. Brady Manick might be open a lot, but he's gassed after about 5 minutes anyway. I don't know what you think about this Marquette-Carolina game. It's very interesting.
I would take Carolina. I just think Brady Manick is a very unique player, can stretch the floor for them. Baycott's an older guy, physical guy who can really impose his will. And RJ Davis, their point guard, has played really well the past couple weeks. So I like them in this first game here versus Marquette. I just think despite their loss the other night, they're playing really good basketball. So I'm going to take Carolina in this one.
Sure. Now, St. Mary's is playing the winner of
Wyoming and Indiana.
Wow. St. Mary's. Jesus.
This one's a bit of a toss-up.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I saw a little bit of Wyoming this year. We've seen a bunch of Indiana. I think Wyoming probably had the better overall year, truthfully. Sure. Indiana just kind of had the better week to put them in the tournament.
Yeah, they had a great
Mountain West is really good this year. So
Mountain West is very good this year. I would go with Wyoming too.
I'm going to go with Wyoming this week. But yeah, again, kind of a toss-up. Wouldn't be overly shocked at either one of those teams going. And then they're going to play St. Mary's, who had another great year this year. St. Mary's was no joke this year. I'd probably go St. Mary's in this game.
Yeah, St. Mary's is legit.
Yeah, I definitely like Mary's this year.
Yeah, and I think everybody's forgetting about UCLA. I know Akron's really solid, but UCLA's been out of the limelight for a couple of weeks here. But I still think UCLA played in a really good Pac-12 this year. But the Pac-12 is as good as it's been in years with them and Arizona in there. So I don't know. I like UCLA in this game. Again, that's not going on the limb picking a 4 over 13, but I'll take UCLA.
Yeah, I think they have the best couple players on the floor. I think Juzang at the end of the game is able to kind of get whatever shot he wants and is
Sure,
able to kind of
sure,
put them over the edge. So I like
sure,
UCLA in that game.
sure, sure. And then we have
Texas, Virginia Tech.
what a tough game this is.
Virginia Tech's hot, obviously, and they play a really hard style to guard.
Sure.
But then on the other end, you have Texas, and Chris Beard is one of the, my opinion, one of the better 5 coaches in the country.
Yep.
And his teams always guard very well.
Yeah.
It's a tough matchup because both coaches are good. Virginia Tech plays a really tough style, but I don't know. I think it's tough to pick against a coach like Chris Beard in the first round.
Yeah.
I just think he can have his team ready after, a little more than half a week to kind of prepare. I would go Texas, but Virginia Tech's hot. So
You put Texas
really,
in. I would pick Virginia Tech, but yeah, put Texas in there. Hopefully those senior guards come through. I like both those coaches, Coach Young and Coach Beard. So I'll be rooting for Tech as an ACC school. Always look for the ACC, which I thought got snubbed a little bit this year. But they talk about how they're down all year. It's like, well, if you look at these out of conference matchups, they weren't that down, but whatever. Purdue, Yale. Fun game, but Purdue's got some enormous bigs, and they got Ivy. I just think Purdue's going to be too much.
too much talent. Yeah,
Well,
I don't think.
Yale and Coach Simon, Kings Park alum, but and Coach Jones, who's a Heffler Hills alum, but we're gonna be rooting hard for Yale, but we're gonna pick Purdue there. Murray State 30-2. Haven't seen a record like that in a long time. However, San Fran is very good in that great conference out there. Obviously, them St. Mary's, Gonzaga, right? All on the same deal, right? That's Bill Russell's alma mater. So I wish if Bill was playing, I'd definitely pick San Fran. But this is a tough game. I got to go with the team that's 30-2, but I did not feel good about this game at all. I don't know. This is a coin flip game. I'm just going on record here because both these teams are studs. I watched San Fran last week. It's just, they're tough. I got to go Murray State, but I don't feel good about this one at all. It's one of those where you're just like, whatever. Yes.
Kind of stinks that 2 mid-major teams got thrown together in the first round. I think these are 2 teams that probably could have shocked some people, made a run, but they got to play each other right off the bat in the first round. So, but yeah, I would go Murray State as well, I think.
Yeah, it's really not fair. Really not fair at all. And then, of course, you got Kentucky and St. Peter's. We got to go to Wildcats there. Wildcats are big, strong, and they always defend. Calipari's the Calipari Revenge Tour this year. He's
Sure.
he remembers all the crap he heard last year. So that goes.
Sure.
Yeah, and then who do we got over here?
So Arizona is going to play the winner of Wright State and Bryant. I like Bryant. I think Bryant's really good this
I
year.
like Bryant, and we're rooting hard for them. Local flavor. Kiss leading the country in scoring. Definitely an eccentric fella. He's leading the. He's out there. He's on the line. It was a great game the other night he played. Bryant's really aggressive. We'll be rooting hard for them. Arizona versus Bryant. We've seen Arizona gag before in the tournament against Buffalo a couple of years back. This could happen again. Bryant's no joke. They're gonna come after you. They're gonna switch defenses. They're gonna, they play with a little bit of my philosophy. Once the game starts, I'll try anything. It's like, if you want to win the game, you want to win the game. But we'll see. Now TCU versus, we got that TCU game there.
Also, another 8-9 game. Basically, flip a coin. I like the way TCU played this week. They beat a good Texas team. Big East, I thought was not. It was a little overhyped this year, in my personal opinion. Toss-up game. I would go TCU, but wouldn't be shocked either way.
Good to see Jamie Dixon back in the tournament at TCU. He left Pitt once they went to the ACC. Smart move. You should see how hard it is to win in the ACC. Ask Syracuse and Pitt how that's going for them. And you look there, I'd go TCU myself, but definitely a toss-up in the 9-8 game. Pretty crazy.
Houston, UAB. UAB had some good wins this week in Conference USA, but I think Houston Final Four team last year, Kelvin Sampson, I think they're a little bit underappreciated in terms of how much winning they've done the past 5 years. I would go Houston.
Sure. Plus the
That's
pace
just
that
me.
Houston plays, even though they lost a couple of studs from last year's team. Calvin Sampson is a proven winner everywhere he goes. UAB is very tough this year, but Illinois, Chattanooga, interesting game. Carbello here is very dangerous player. Yeah, so Illinois, Chattanooga. I mean, Chattanooga is a live dog here because Illinois' guard Carbello, he's very good, but they've been a little bit spotty lately. Illinois, he started off great. The big guy's tough to deal with, but Chattanooga is not going to back down. That pace is going to be crazy. You know, I mean, Illinois is playing. I can't remember where this game is being held, but this is one of my live dogs here. This is a team that if you want to pick a bracket buster, this could be the one to go with. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I would take Illinois. I think Coburn's just a little too much down low. I think Curbelo is really good as well. I just think I watched Chattanooga. Obviously, had a great win over, I think it was Furman at the buzzer
Oh yeah,
last week. I just think Illinois, I think the talent will ultimately win out in that game. But Chattanooga's a good team, and Illinois last year, second round exit. So
yeah,
I would go Illinois though, personally.
definitely.
Alrighty, Colorado State, Michigan. I think Colorado State is slept on, had a great year. Michigan had a great strength of schedule this year. Didn't particularly win a ton of their games though. I kind of like Colorado State in this one.
Me too. I mean, Michigan, I'm sure, has got the talent level, and Dickinson's tough, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a strange situation for Michigan, and LSU have some strange situations. Jawan coming back off, he's back already, but he came back for one game. But this is still a weird situation. LSU, of course, fired Coach Wade, so they're playing in a tournament without a coach. So, assistant coach takes over, but it's interesting. But yeah, I'll go with Colorado State. Certainly, Michigan, though, being that I think Michigan will be the 11 seed, but they'll be favored. So it's kind of weird. But Tennessee, Longwood. Tennessee's playing great, but Longwood shoots the hell out of it. It's from the Big South, and I tell you, this is another live dog right here. Tennessee. I'm picking Tennessee, but if you're thinking about one, this could be the one to go with. Rick Barnes does a great job.
This is one I might pick. This is one I might pick. My final bracket. I might take Longwood. They went 25-6 this year, and Tennessee. We've seen many times teams that go on these great runs in their conference tournaments sometimes kind of peter out in the first couple rounds. Teams who, people are high on them, they have a great week, and then, it's a lot of energy to like win a championship the week before and then come back, 4 days later and have the same intensity and play like your season's on the line again. So yeah, Tennessee definitely the favorite, but this is one I might pick when all is said and done. I might go Longwood and try to go for an upset pick here.
Well, that's what's upsetting because, like, you sit there in the conference tournament, I'm rooting for Duke to beat Miami, but I'm also remembering how the freshman year, your legs by this time of year were shot. It's your first year college season is so much longer than high school season. I'm thinking to myself, these Duke freshmen are dealing with Coach K stuff, they're dealing with all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, I want to beat Miami, but at the same time, it's another game on your legs. I mean, it is rough. It is rough this time of year on the body. So it's these guys are dragging. But yep, Tennessee, I guess we'll go with. But Longwood, yeah, definitely a live dog. Ohio State and Loyola. Ohio State did not finish the season well. I know Porter Moser's
Healthy either.
Yeah, they're not healthy. I mean, I tell you, this is a good 10-7 matchup. And Loyola's had some success. If they had the big stud from last year, that'd be fun. But I'm going to pick Loyola here, but I could certainly go either way.
Yeah, toss-up game. I think the curse of Sister Jean is very real in the NCAA tournament. So I'm going to go with Loyola myself.
Sister Jean is tough. She's got a great record in the tournament. By the way, the best winning percentage in NCAA tournament history for you Duke fans out there is Coach K, by the way. I just want to throw that out there for you Carolina fans, too. Make sure you learn that before we go. So I want to make sure I throw that out. Villanova definitely versus Delaware. This wasn't even a great Delaware team. It's not like one of the ones that Mike Bray coached back in the day with Mike Pegues on this playing, who's now a Louisville coach. Now, who's Kansas have the winner of?
So Kansas has the winner of Texas Southern and Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Wow.
Be truthfully honest, didn't see a ton of either one of these teams this year, but Texas Southern has been to the tournament quite a bit in the past 5 years or so. So if I'm picking just purely based off of experience in the tournament and having been there, think Texas Southern's actually played in the out bracket 16 game quite a bit as well.
Sure.
I'll go Texas Southern in this game, but I think either way,
Sure.
either team is probably in trouble versus Kansas in this first game. So
Sure.
San Diego State Creighton. Creighton has some ability, but San Diego State is tough every year in the tournament.
Yep. They sure are. Always done a good job. Coach does a great job out there. They always have players. They always get those sleeper players that, they go, they fly under the radar. Yes, Tech's are tough.
I'd probably go San Diego State, but against another 8-9 game, that'll make or break the bracket. So
yeah, I could see Creighton too because they got hot at the end here. Iowa, Richmond, I see Iowa going. Like I said, Fran McCaffrey's got them playing really well. I mean, like I said, it's dangerous that they won a tournament, like we said before. I'll go Iowa, but like we said, it is dangerous sometimes when you win. You play yourself out, you get a little extended, and your body's barking. This South Dakota State game is another live one for me. Providence plays all their games close, and I just don't think they have that automatic stud at the end of the game. So if there's a 13-4 upset, you better be careful. South Dakota State's had a great season. Like I said, and I love Providence. They're one of my favorite teams. I love Ed Cooley, but they play so many close games. One of these days it's going to bite you. And you know how it is. Like, you've had that great year. Everybody's talking about how wonderful it is. And you get in this game with 10 minutes, and all of a sudden your great year goes out the window because the alums will be pissed if you lose because they don't know what the hell's going on. So, I tell you what, I'll be rooting hard for Providence, but I think South Dakota State's going to get them. I just really feel it. I mean, I don't care which one you put up there, but I feel like it's going to be crazy.
It's a tough one. South Dakota State went 30-4, so had a very good year, and another team that's not a stranger to playing in the NCAA tournament. Providence, I would think, is definitely the more talented team, but like you said, they've had an incredible year, but they've won some really, really tight games this year. So definitely a game that could be an upset alert for sure.
And the weirdest game of the year is the LSU situation. You get rid of your coach and they're in the tournament, and LSU's always got talent, and so is Iowa State. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to go with LSU playing on emotion, and it could be backfire on us, but who cares?
Yeah, I would take LSU. I think they'll rally behind the adversity. I think you'll see them kind of come together a bit with all the turmoil going on.
Sure.
So I'll take LSU as well.
And then Wisconsin Colgate could be the all slow tempo of the day. It could be interesting. Although Wisconsin, I'll tell you what, Colgate's very good. Wisconsin's Davis is tough. Hopefully he's healthy. I got to go Wisconsin here. But that game could be a white knuckler, as we say, where you're all nervous and your hands are clenched. But definitely go in Wisconsin. But this next game's fascinating. USC coach just got an extension. You might remember Florida Gulf Coast. Way back in the day, we were at that game in 2013. We're at that game when they beat Georgetown, and the fans are wearing shorts and it was snowing in Philadelphia. It's a crazy situation. That coach has now moved on. USC's got them going in the right way, but Miami with the 260 seniors in the backcourt. This is going to be rough. I'm going to go Miami here, but oh my goodness, this game, I don't even want to touch this game. It's like, I don't want to, there's certain games you don't want to have to pick. This is one of them. I mean,
it's going to be a high-powered offensive game. Miami's got three guys who can just flat out fill it up, and USC, another high-octane offense. So, yeah, this game might end up might be like 120 to like 115 or something like that.
Yeah, get your pop. It could be fun.
Yeah, it's a toss-up game. And then Auburn, Jacksonville State. Gonna err on the side of Auburn here. Jacksonville State had a nice year, but to be fair, they also didn't even win their conference tournament. So
true.
I'm going to go with Auburn. So if we go back to the top here,
we'll pick one more round, and then we'll stop the show. And then in the middle of the week, next week we'll pick up, maybe do a Sweet 16. But Gonzaga got beaten Boise State, although Boise State is very good. Hopefully Chad Holmgren and Drew Timme can get it done there. It's going to be interesting though. UConn, Arkansas is, I tell you, you like UConn more than I do, but they did play well at the end of the season. UConn, it looked like they finally figured it out.
Yeah, I thought they were really tough all year. I thought they were the third best team behind Providence and Nova, who are both very good in their own right. I really like UConn this year. Thought Arkansas has been up and down a little bit this year.
I'll go with UConn. Yeah.
I'll go with UConn. Rutgers, Texas Tech. I think this is the This is the third game in 5 days for Rutgers, or would be,
Yep.
with the out bracket game. And I think Texas Tech probably does what Rutgers does, just a little bit better, with just a little bit better players.
Yep.
So I would probably go with Texas Tech here.
Yeah, I'll be rooting hard for Rutgers as we both will. And then
And then Davidson Duke, as much as I would love to pick Coach K, I might take Davidson here because Duke has shown that they
don't guard.
struggle with experience. Yeah, and Davidson is going to play 5 out, and they're going to make Mark Williams come out and guard on the perimeter.
Yep.
And plus, this game is in Greenville, South Carolina, which, as much as it benefits Duke, it also benefits Davidson. So it's not going to be necessarily a home crowd for Duke. It's probably going to be pretty even in a Davidson Duke game. Might be,
Yeah.
would hate to pick against Coach K in his last year, but I might take Davidson in my bracket. But I don't know what you think.
I feel like there's just too many distractions. It's that's why I think it's almost impossible for this team to get through. I just feel like they don't defend for one. I think this is a good enough team to win, but when you don't defend plus distractions, like I said, those freshman backcourts work if half the backcourt's a freshman. We had Cook in the backcourt with Jones, but that was different. Cook was very big in that run. I mean, two freshman guards back there make me nervous. Like I said, Williams is gonna have to come out and guard, and Bob McKillop, for those of you who don't follow it, you'll find a better coach anywhere on the planet at any level. So it's going to be tough. And Davidson was really good in a really good A10. I mean, if I'm Duke, I might wish to see Michigan State instead of Davidson. Michigan State's not going to shoot
in terms of matchups. Yeah, in terms of matchup and style of play. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. It's a toss up. I'll go with whatever you think. I mean, I know you might pick Davidson, so if you got to do it, you do it. He's a Long Island guy.
I'll take Davidson. I don't want to see it happen. I'm certainly rooting for Coach K to go out on top, but I just think that's an awful matchup for Duke in the second round. And like you said, I think Michigan State probably more talented, but in terms of style of play, might be a better matchup. Really tough pod for Duke all the way around.
I think
it would be an accomplishment in of itself to get through this first weekend for them. Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. Baylor, UNC has no bench. They play their starters about 40 minutes a game. This will be their second game in 3 days. I have Baylor just really on depth alone. UNC literally plays their 5 starters all 35 minutes plus. They have no bench. So
well, I got UNC, but we'll go with Baylor. I got UNC winning this game. I just think that the big fella is going to be tough. Baylor, like I said, I don't know what their health is good enough, but we'll figure it out. Baylor plays really hard though, and that's something that UNC has had problems with this year. Just always playing hard. I mean, they're down 25 to freaking Virginia Tech the other night. I mean, they look like they just didn't. Brady Manick just gets gassed. He's such a good player, but man, he gets gassed quick. St. Mary's UCLA is murder to pick. I'll go with UCLA based on that tournament run last year, but this is certainly just a nutty situation how good both these teams are. So it's just crazy stuff. Oof, Texas, Purdue. Purdue always leaves to let you down. Everybody talks about Matt Painter, Mr. Reliable. Mr. Reliable let you down in the tournament too, every time. But Ivy's a stud. They got good size. I mean, this Texas team has not been hot lately. I don't know. I'm going to go Purdue. I'm going to try to show some faith in Purdue, but Chris Beard is he's going to muck up that game. I don't know what you think.
Chris Beard's a great coach. Wouldn't be shocked if they won. I just think Purdue, Jaden Ivey, I think their firepower this year as opposed to other years is a little bit too much. I'd go Purdue. But like I said earlier, I have a hard time betting against Chris Beard teams. Murray State, Kentucky.
What a fun game. What a fun game for the state of Kentucky. What a fun game. I got to go Kentucky, but Murray State 30-2 is a live dog. I mean, they got to beat San Francisco to just get there. I mean, what a great game for the state of Kentucky that would be. I mean, the fans would just have a blast. But anytime you're 30-2, you're legit.
You did something right. That's for sure. I'll go with Kentucky because I think Shebway is probably.
Oh my God, he's a beast. He's a beast.
Probably a bit too much for them, but yeah, Murray State is could be a problem in the tournament. TCU, I don't think is going to hang with Arizona. I think Arizona is just a little too big.
Up again. He'll go to Arizona, but I'm always afraid they're going to gag it up again. They don't. I don't know. It makes you nervous. Houston, Illinois, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. That's if Illinois
That's
gets
just
there. Illinois is a live
yeah,
team to lose too, but I tell you, I got to go. I think if Illinois gets past that first game, I think they're going to relax a little bit. I think that I think they'll find a way to beat Houston, but I don't know. That's another toss up. All these games are just so much fun. Colorado State, Tennessee. Ooh, that's a lot of fun. I'm going to go Tennessee there. I think that dream dies. Maybe Rick Barnes gets back to a Sweet 16 again. Nova's going to beat Loyola. Nova always seems to get this bracket where it breaks for them. Look at the bracket they got. Look at the first two. Look at the first two games they get. I mean, Loyola is good, but come on. Delaware is that's not even the best team in their league, Delaware. So, I mean, somebody's definitely looking out for Nova on that committee. Oh, my goodness. Kansas, San Diego State, I'm going Kansas. I think Kansas is legit this year, but like I said, they let you down too a lot. People forget Bill Self keeps winning all these conference titles. So I think it's 16, 17 years in a row Kansas won, but one title and so many disappointments along the way. South Dakota State, Iowa, you better get yourself ready better get a pinball machine to keep score of this game. It's the abacus route isn't going to work. The shot clock might not be in use. But I got to go Iowa just because of Murray. But again, South Dakota State, I could see them. The last couple of years we've had 12s in the final in the Sweet 16, and we've had 11s and stuff like that. And it's rough. I don't feel good about that pick at all. What do you think about Wisconsin and LSU?
I like Wisconsin. I think super disciplined, just going to play really good quality basketball. LSU, as we talked about earlier, probably going to be playing a lot of emotion in this tournament, but I think eventually that can kind of backfire on you a little bit. I just think Wisconsin's super, super solid, but if LSU can speed it up, they'd have a chance. I'm going to go with Wisconsin, though, truthfully. Just got to have a good feeling about them this year. Miami Auburn is going to be a great potential game. I'd probably go Auburn, just on some depth. And the kid Jaden Smith is a stud for
Yes.
Auburn.
Yeah,
I would go Auburn.
Yeah, you can put Auburn down. It's a toss-up game for me because of the Miami guards. But so that's the Sweet 16 that we have right there. That's fun. Like I said, next week we can come back and try to take another look at this, and we'll see where we're at. We'll probably get butchered because so many of these games are tough. The bracket could blow up on us pretty quick. There's about 5 or 6 games that I don't even feel good about picking, but you have to pick somebody. So when you go into your pool, remember some of those historical references that we had there, and try to remember some of those. Like when you get those, obviously the 9s have beaten the 8s more, and like all the way down, it's pretty much once you get past that 12-5 game where 35% of the 12s have won, that's pretty big. After that, it drops off a little bit significantly. But again, even the 3s and the 4s of the 13s and the 14s have won some games. And for the past couple of years, we've had some success with the 11s, the 12s, and the 13s. So you really got to, and of course, the ultimate success UMBC. But I don't see that happening this year. I don't see a matchup with tempo. I mean, that Virginia team played the perfect tempo for an upset. I just don't see that this year with the 16-1 games. Do you?
No, yeah, like I said, I think Bryant is a very good 16 seed, and I think
Sure.
Norfolk State is also a very good 16 seed. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you go into any year thinking a 16 is going to knock off a 1. But you never know. You never know. So
True. Very true. Very true. I think it's definitely tough stuff. All right. So let's see. Anything else? Any other reoccurring stories? Obviously, with Coach K farewell tour, but I hate that whole thing. It's too distracting. But also, like I said, good to see some new programs in there. Bryant's in there. Warrenwood's in there. A lot of fun to get those new teams in there. So that's those are great stories in itself. And like I said, it's good to see Mike Woodson back in Indiana. That's great stuff. So I'm happy to see them back. And obviously, Mike White went from Florida to Georgia today. Usually, you don't leave in conference like that. Very strange. But I know a couple of Florida alums who already texted me that they're very happy that he's leaving. They always felt like he's a great recruiter, but not a great coach. And obviously, it's impossible to replace Billy Donovan. I guess you win two national, win back-to-back titles like that. It's tough. It's a tough follow. But Okay, so that's gonna be it for us on Telling It Like It Is, this first portion of the March Madness program here. And I want to thank Gordon Shouler for coming on. And it's always a pleasure this time of year. Get your brackets ready. Try to pay attention to the numbers and the history of the game. For some of you people who don't follow it at all, try not to pick by mascots, which some people do. But then again, that might work this year. I guess it's definitely a tough bracket.
Works out better sometimes. Yeah.
It does. Sometimes it works out better. And we'll see you next time on Telling It Like It Is, March Madness 2022 program. Thanks for coming.